OpenAI just dropped GPT 5.4, and this one's different. It's not just smarter, it can literally control your computer. Click buttons, navigate apps, fill out spreadsheets, and build presentations, browse the web, all of that. It also has a 1 million token context window, meaning you can hand it your entire code base, your entire business docs folder, and a 100-page contract, and it just reads the whole thing. But here's what nobody's telling you yet. How to actually use this. Not the benchmarks, not the hype, but the practical stuff. I've been testing GPT 5.4 for the last few hours, and I'm going to show you 5 things you can do with this right now that you couldn't do yesterday. Let's go. Quick context so you're not lost. GPT 5.4 is OpenAI's new flagship model. It replaces GPT 5.2 as the default ChatGPT Pro, and it's available in API today. 3 things matter. 1. Computer use. This is the headline feature. GPT 5.4 can see your screen, move your mouse, click buttons, type into fields. It's the first general purpose model from OpenAI with native computer use built in. Anthropic had this with Claude. Now OpenAI has it too, and they claim it's better. 2. 1 million token context. GPT 5.2 had 128K. This is 8 times bigger. You can feed it entire repositories, entire document libraries, entire research papers, and it holds all of it in working memory at once. 3 is tool search. When GPT 5.4 is connected to a bunch of tools and APIs, it can figure out which tool to use on its own. You don't have to tell it, use the Stripe tool. It finds the right one automatically. Let's start with computer use. This is the feature that changes everything for non-technical people. I have a messy spreadsheet here. It's a CSV export from Stripe with 200 transactions. I need to clean it up, create a pivot table by product, and add a revenue chart and format it for client presentations. In the old world, I would rather do this manually in Excel 20 minutes or write a Python script. Most founders would spend the 20 minutes. Watch what happens with GPT 5.4. I'm going to tell it, open the spreadsheet, clean up the data, remove the test transactions, standardize the date format, and create a pivot table showing revenue by product by month. Add a bar chart, format it professionally with your brand colors, and save it as a client revenue q1.xlxx. Watch the screen. It's opening the file, clicking into cells, selecting columns, creating the pivot table. Now it's inserting the chart, selecting the right date range, picking the bar chart, adjusting colors. That just happened autonomously. I gave it one instruction and it operated from my computer like a human assistant sitting next to me. This took about 90 seconds. I would have taken 20 minutes. And I know how to use Excel. Imagine if you don't. Here's one thing that will hit home for anyone who does client work or pitches. I'm going to ask GPT 5.4, create a 10-slide investor update presentation. Use the revenue data from Spreadsheet we just made. Include a title slide, revenue overview, product breakdown, growth trajectory, key wins for this quarter, challenges, team updates, roadmap, financial projections, and a closing slide. Professionally design it and save it as PDF. It's building the deck slide by slide, pulling the revenue numbers from the spreadsheet it just created, adding charts, formatting headers, adjusting fonts. On benchmarks, human raters preferred GPT 5.4's presentation 68% of the time over GPT 5.2. They specifically called out better aesthetics, more visual variety, and better use of images. And I'm watching it happen in real time. No templates, no drag and drop, just make me a deck, and it makes you a deck. If you're a consultant, a coach, a freelancer, think about how much time you spend on presentations. Now think about getting 80% of that time back. Let's talk about million token context window. This is less flashy, but arguably more powerful. Here's the real scenario. I have an open source project. Let's use Deerflow by ByteDance. It's trending on GitHub right now. It's a multi-agent framework. The whole repo is about 50,000 lines of code across dozens of files. With GPT 5.2, I couldn't feed the whole thing in. I had to pick and choose files, give it partial context, and hope it understood the architecture. With GPT 5.2, I can paste the entire repo. Now I ask, explain the architecture of this code base. How do sub-agents communicate? Where is the memory managed? What would I change to add a new tool? Look at this response. It's not guessing. It's referencing specific files, specific functions, specific line numbers, and it understands the full architecture because it can see all of it at once. For founders who are building on open source tools, this is massive. You can now understand any code base instantly, clone a repo, dump it into GPT 5.4, and have a conversation about how it works. No more spending days reading documentation. No more trial and error. Now here's a feature that matters most for people building AI agents. Tool search. In the API, you can now connect dozens, even hundreds of tools to GPT 5.4, and it figures out which one to use automatically. Before, if you had 50 MCP servers connected, the model would get confused. Too many tools, too much context wasted on tool descriptions. You would have to manually curate which tools are available for each conversation. GPT 5.4 has a built-in tool search layer. It looks at your request, scans the available tools, picks the right ones, and uses them efficiently. Let me show you. I've got Notion, Stripe, Google Calendar, email, and file converter tools all connected. I'm going to say, check if any meetings tomorrow. Pull my revenue from my last week, and draft a weekly update email for my team with both pieces of information. Watch the tool calls. Calendar API pulls tomorrow's meeting. Stripe API pulls last week revenue. Email tools drafts the message with both datasets attached. It didn't ask me which tool to use. It figured it out. That's tool search. If you're building agent systems, this is the upgrade that makes everything smoother. Your agents get smarter about which capabilities to invoke. And then the last one, which is subtle but important. GPT 5.4 thinking mode now shows you its plan before it starts working, and you can adjust the plan mid-response. I'm going to give it a complex task. Analyze my competitor's website, identify their positioning, pricing model, target audience, and key differentiators. Then create a comparison metrics and suggest 3 areas where we can outposition them. See that? Before it starts, it shows me, here's my plan. I'll browse the competitor's site, extract key data points, organize in categories, and build the metrics, and then I will analyze the gaps. I can actually intervene here. I could say skip the pricing analysis, focus more on the content strategy, and it adjusts. This matters because with complex tasks, the old models would go off in a direction you didn't want, and you would have to start over. Now you can course correct before it burns through your tokens. All right, big picture. What does this actually mean if you're a founder, a creator, someone building an AI-powered business? 1, computer use means that you don't need to learn every tool. You don't need to master Excel, PowerPoint, or any specific software. You describe what you say, AI operates software for you. The barrier to professional output just dropped to 0. Million token context means you can understand anything, any code base, any contract, any research paper, any competitor's entire body of work. Feed it all in, ask questions, and get real answers. Tool search means agents get dramatically more capable. Connect anything, everything. Let the model figure out what to use. Less plumbing, more results. This isn't incremental. This is the model where AI goes from smart chatbot to digital employee. It can see your screen, use your tools, hold your entire business context in memory, and execute multi-step workflows autonomously. The question isn't whether this changes things. It's whether you're building with it or watching other people build with it. So how do you actually use this? If you're on ChatGPT Plus or Pro, GPT 5.4 Thinking is available right now. Select it from model dropdown. Computer use features are rolling out, so you can check out the settings. GPT 5.4 is available in API today. Standard pricing with the new token efficiency. OpenAI says it uses significantly fewer reasoning tokens than GPT 5.2 for the same quality. So your bills might actually go down. If you're using OpenAI Codex for coding, GPT 5.4 is the new default. Computer use specifically requires the API with the new computer use parameter. It's not just ChatGPT feature. It's an API capability you can build into your own agents and workflows. If you're watching this and thinking, I want to build agents that use these capabilities, that's exactly what we teach. How to architect AI systems that actually run parts of your business, not theory, working deployments. Link in description if you want to learn the full blueprint. If you haven't seen the video where I built WhatsApp AI assistant that runs my entire business, watch that next. Same approach, same philosophy, and now imagine plugging GPT 5.4 with computer use into that system. That's where this is all going. Subscribe and hit the bell. The space moves fast, and I'll break down every major release like this. See you in the next one.